from an arm saddle, okay? Usually it's pretty hard to separate the guy's hands, okay? And we're going to see that the specific variation of arm saddle we look at now is slightly different than the standard arm saddle, okay? But we're going to set things up with this modified arm saddle, which make it easier to gain the Kimura. You're never really going to get the Kimura in this position. Sometimes it might tap, but realistically he's probably going to roll, but that's okay. We're going to follow him and get to a pinned Jujigatami, okay? So, however we get to the arm saddle, let's just start with the proactive elevation method of entry. So I go here, I elevate the guy down because his arms are over mine, and he sits back. I have a good opportunity to grasp onto a shoulder crunch, from which point we can gain an arm saddle, all right? So what I do here is I take my right foot, I put it on his hip to regulate distance as he drives into me. I'm gonna now take my right foot and it passes off to the far hip, and I use this frame here with my left forearm to put my knee in front of his head. Now, when I fall down, I roll, the left foot goes over the top, and now it's going to stop at his near hip. Usually what we're looking to do is pass it to the far hip and then curl our right leg, okay? But this time what we're gonna look to do is put my foot on his near hip, okay? All right, now I have, like, we started with the shoulder crunch, now I'm grasping my thigh. I'm gonna pass off now to a Kimura grip. Now, if I just try to push with my left foot and pull with my right arm, stay tight, it's never gonna work, okay? So what I do instead is I take my left hand and I bring it in, so I start to touch his actual, so at first I'm just grasping his wrist, okay guys? Now I bring my right hand rather deeper and I'm actually touching his hand, okay? Now when he goes to hold on, I can push it inwards and now I can pull it out, okay? So I'm first just grasping his wrist, hold tight, hold tight. I can never push that in, and I can never pull it out. It's too difficult. He has too much strength in this position. So I crawl my fingers forward. So essentially my pinky finger and my ring finger are touching the palm of his hand. That's gonna allow me, I can't pull it out yet, but that allows me to push it in, I break his grip, and now I can pull it out. He has no grip anymore. From here, what we can do is I apply the Kimura. Yeah, he may tap here, but more realistically, he'll probably roll to relieve pressure, at which point we gotta follow him. And now I've got a double torso leg variation of Jujigatami. We can pass off to a standard Jujigatami, make a scoop grip, and stabilize the position and get to work, okay? Let's look at that one more time. So I'm here. We're gonna use a proactive butterfly guard elevation. And now as he sits back, I take my shoulder crunch. First I regulate distance with my right foot on his hip. Now, and my left forearm is also helping regulate distance as well. Now I'm going to take my right foot and pass it to his far hip at the same time as I fall, and I replace my left forearm with my left knee. Now I roll over the top, and my right foot stops at his near hip. Okay, normally in a standard arm saddle it goes to his far hip, but now we just stop at his near hip, all right? Now I go from this grip on my thigh to a Kimura grip. I can't stop with the grip at the wrist or the forearm. I've got to crawl my fingers, okay? I'm trying to get my pinky and my ring finger on the palm of his hand. Now here, I still can't pull it out, but what I can do is I can push his hand in, that breaks the grip, now I pull it out. Okay, now I apply the Kimura, forcing him to roll, and then when he rolls, if you could keep his hands separated, you could go right into, obviously, straight arm lock, okay? But if he connects, no big deal. You can go from the Kimura. You could go right into his back. That's a good option. Or you could pass off to a standard Jujigatami with a cross-face leg, a torso leg, and a scoop grip on his legs. Okay? Make sense, guys? All right, let's get started. 1, 2, 3.